Okay, guys, good morning again. We are going to go through some revision for paper one. I have sent some work yesterday. It was a question paper and it's a home language paper. It's good though for if you're going to sit through this paper for your first additional, guys. It's always great to have this knowledge. Your paper one is going to be so easy for you, the first additional, guys, because you're going to get some more knowledge. I'm actually over teaching in terms of that, but it's going to be great for you to know this. So yes, please take out your booklet. You will see in this section we are going to go to text. We are going to go to section C. I think so. Page 12 on the paper I sent. It's the February-March one. Use question 5, using language correctly. So they've given you, you'll see what they do is they'll give you a text, and from that text they'll ask you a few questions. Let's go to the questions, and I've asked you to write down the following. Give an antonym for Afro-optimism. So I know some of you don't know what Afro-optimism is, but that's not the question. The question has to do with synonyms and antonyms. So the notes you make first would be you'll write synonym and then you'll write antonym. Synonym means words with the same meaning. Antonym, opposite meanings. So if we ask for an antonym for white, it would be black. If we ask for a synonym for white, it would be pure, for instance. Got it? So you have to know antonyms and synonyms. Just clear this. Anti, I'm anti you. Opposite you. Antonyms. Synonyms. The same. Words with the same meaning. You are in sync. Words with opposite meanings. Let's go back to where we were. Rewrite the following clause in the passive voice. Remember a week ago we did active and passive. No? So active, do you remember active and passive? Active and passive form. So what happened was with active, we have the subject in front, the doer is in front, the boy kicks the ball. Okay? So let's go here. Let's discuss that quickly. We're gonna do boom. We have subject, verb, and then we have object. So the subject is always the doer. Verb is the action words, and who or what it is being done to. Okay, great. So we said the boy is the doer, kicks is the action, the ball, it is being done to the ball. So it doesn't matter where in the sentence you find these words, you always check for where the doer is. Who's the doer? That's the subject. Who's doing it? Who is it being done to? Or to what it is being done to? That's the object. Subject, when we talk about you, I say, so ek is the subject for discussion. Can you see that? Who's doing it? So ek is not the subject. You've been using these words without thinking about it. You are the doer. Okay, great. Let's look at this particular sentence. Want me to go down here? The boy kicks the ball. That's your default sentence. You test everything against that sentence. Okay, then remember what we did. We had a list of things. First of all, we said to write from active to passive. One, active, were you here just when we did this? From active to passive, you're going to this in active, the doer is in front. In passive, the doer goes to the back and the object moves to the front. The object moves to the front. So instead of saying, then we're going to say the ball is kicked by the boy. Can you see now that you see the difference? Understand the following. Number 2, the tense stays the same. We've got that. So if it's written in the past tense, you're going to rewrite in the past tense. What is the other written by? Did we say we add the preposition by? You remember that? The ball is kicked by. 3. Add the preposition by. Number 4, the verb changes. How does it change? We add a participle, either ed or ing. No? So remember we say the boy kicks. That's your verb. The ball. How does the verb change? Just come in and sit down. We're busy with yesterday's work. So now you say the ball is kicked. Ed is added. That's how the verb changes. Then what was the last thing? Tense stays the same. Move the object. Okay. We've done that. 4 things happen. Let's go back. You add the preposition by. I'll show you now. So listen, they're going to give you a complex sentence. A long sentence. The only thing you do is, 1, you circle, here's my doer. Here, who or what it is being done to. Here's my verb. Then you work with those 3 first. Then you add the other words in. Else you're going to get confused. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, 1, the object moves to the subject position to the front. Number 2, the tense. Remember, if they said they will do it tomorrow, then when you rewrite it, that will must be in there. Future tense must still be in there. We're doing active and passive. Yeah? Number 3, I think you have this already. No? Yeah. Number 3, add the preposition by. It's the ball is kicked by. Then the verb changes. It's no longer kick. It's going to be kicking or kicked. Ed. That's what happens. Just make it, when they say verb changes, add participles, ed or ing, so that you know that's what happens to it. Let's have a look at the sentence they gave you. She tracks the latest changes in lifestyles, politics, and technology. Very interesting. She tracks the latest changes in lifestyles, politics, and technology. I'm going to write that down. Oh, you have it in front of you. So you have to rewrite that in the passive tense. In other words, now your object. Find out what is your object and find out what is your subject. figure out which is which, and then you start writing. Are you writing in your list? Your list is at the back, no? Okay, fine. We can listen to it now. Just give them a minute. I'm so sorry, Bona. I'm just looking at. I just want to put this up there as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. Give them a minute. Let's see where you come. Where if one of it is right. Is there anyone online? Oh, three wanted. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see what you have. Let's see where you started at least. Yes. Okay, great. That's a good start. You can't go any wronger. If you say it's wrong. Let's go.
The first one is she's tracking the latest changes in lifestyle that
What did you change? Let's listen to the others. Next, let's listen to the others.
she tracked the latest changes in lifestyle that
Okay, next
the
one.
third one is she's being tracking the latest changes in lifestyle.
You didn't do active and passive, you changed tense. Do you see what you did? You changed, when you say the word, when you say tracked, it means you just changed it to past tense. When you say she's tracking, you changed it to she's tracking present continuous tense. When you say you didn't answer the question. But it's good that you're making the mistakes because once you make the mistakes, you understand what you are doing. So remember, we started with the boy kicks the ball. Then when we rewrote it, we started with what did we start? The ball. So you need to figure out what is my subject, what is my verb, what is my object. Once you have your object, you move your object to the front and you start with the ball. Then now in this sentence, you start with every sentence of yours started with the doer. Already you must know. Wrong. Then you go grab. Let's see what you have. Let's see who else has what. Coach Jessica, I know it's new. I just want to know if you can figure out what is your subject, your verb, and your object. Do you want to take a minute more? One more minute, 2 more minutes? Good. Are you there? Okay, good. So that's why I always say use the ball as reference. What goes in the space of the boy? What's in the space of the ball? And which one do you swap? Online guys, I'm just grabbing coffee. Yeah. I know it. You just have to think. I always say just think five more seconds. Once you see it, it's going to be so clear. Once you see where the ball is, once you see where the boy is. You need to make this bigger for you. Okay, let's see. All you geniuses, here we go. But yeah.
Can you always the input of things?
Hmm.
And then the input of things. So you would like this like
What? She. Okay, okay. You started somewhere. Anyone else who wants to help you?
So which she hasn't been.
Oh, there's one more thing we have to say. Our with your rules, our pronouns may change. Now, can you see that the pronoun changes? You can add that as a rule. Another list.
I am the balance.
And what?
I am the balance. Same. Like I felt over the things.
Okay. By whom? Okay, great, great. What do you say?
The latest movement.
Can I tell you?
The latest changes in ourselves, the latest energy has been tracked.
Has been checked out. Okay. I don't know how to do it now. Go for it, Anastasia. Was tracked out. You saying is? Was. Are you saying? Okay, great. I'm glad you made that, all of these errors, really. So let's start with yours. Yours are, I think, closest, but you used the wrong participle. Let's try this again. So I'm gonna be here. I wanna be over here. I wanna be over here. Let's use yours, Jess. Give me your sentence. The latest changes. Can you see? Bon, I want to see this. I want you to see this. They're saying, where's your question paper? They're saying she tracks the latest changes. Let's look at this. The boy is the doer. Look at the sentence here. The boy is the doer. She. Tracks is the verb. Can you see the verb? The boy kicks the ball. The latest changes. That's how simple that sentence actually is. Then they give you all these words to confuse you. Okay? So actually, you could start with the ball, the latest changes. Let's use that. Let's use that. I want your mind to start thinking like this. So when we say the ball, the boy kicks. The ball, we are saying she tracks what? The latest changes. Got it? Now, when we rewrote, we said the ball is kicked by the boy. Can you see that? Now we are saying the latest changes. The ball, follow the lead, no? The latest changes. What happens to the latest changes? What tense is it? Tracks. What tense is it? Present. Did you see kicks is present? No? Okay, let's go again. So what's happening to the latest changes? Now let's look at plural or singular. Is it one change or two changes? Two changes. Let's use that. Is that is or are? One change is, two changes. One boy is, two boys are. In the latest changes are, what's happening to them? Are tracked. We used kicks, became ed. The ball was kicked. No, the ball is kicked, ed. The latest changes are tracked, ed. By whom? Her. That's your sentence. Can you see that? Hold up. Then you can just put in the latest changes. Sorry, hold up. The latest changes in lifestyles, politics, and technology. You just add those words. Are tracked by her. Can you see how easy it becomes then? So you only work with your subject, your verb, and your object, and then you bring your words back in. They're going to confuse you like that. You literally take your whole sentence. You take out your verb, your subject, your verb, and your object, and you work with it. And then you add in the words so that the sentence makes sense. No? Now let's deal with your challenge. The ing, no, are being tracked. When do you use being? Let's go down. Yeah. When do you use being? So when we say the following, the boy, this is your lifesaver in your exam for the rest of your life. The boy is kicking the ball. That's an indicator. Every time you have a sentence, let's go back to the first one. Back to the first one. The first one says the boy kicks the ball. She tracks the latest. Can you see that? Did you see that verb is present tense? Tracks, kicks. In this sentence, the verb is continuous tense. The boy is kicking. There's your ing. On top there is no ing. Got it? So when you rewrite this time, you're going to go the ball, hold up, is, because that's present tense, the tense stays the same, is, here is your continuous tense, being tracked, is being kicked by the boy. Is it making sense to you now? When you see in your active tense there's an ing, you're going to use is being, was being, will be kicked. Will have been kicked. Yeah. Got it? We can come back. If you need more of this practice, you can come back and maybe give me examples. Maybe go through exam papers and see how it pans out and if it makes a bit more sense to you. Always watch the verb. the verb is in the present tense. When you rewrite, is kicked. When it's in the continuous tense, is kicking, you're going to write is being. That's when being comes in again. Jessica, you get it? Not really? We're going to fix it now. Let's do this again. The only time you use being is when you see a verb in your active tense. This is active. This is passive. When they give you the verb in the continuous tense, you weren't here when we did participles, were you here? Participles means continuous, it's happening. So they'll say ing, she was walking, she is walking. When you say she walks, that's present tense. When you say it's busy happening. So when you watch, who's kicking the ball? Can you see? You're watching the game and it's continuously happening as you see it. So in this instance, when you see the participle, there's two participles. One is ing and one is ed. Ed shows it already happened, that's past participle. Ing is present participle. It's in the present. You can see it's happening. So when they give you your verb it's called continuous tense, the ing. When you rewrite, you then bring your ing back in by saying is being. Got it? It's the only time you use being. When you go back, I'm going to go back up a bit. Did you see we didn't use the ing here? Then we don't use the ing at the bottom. Then we say the ball is kicked. Then we use ed. The ball, I want to write it here. The ball is kicked. It is by the boy. Making sense? Only when you see ing in your active, you use being. You use ing in your passive. That's what they're testing you on. They want to see if you can see that. Let's use the next one. It's already helping us a lot. What is the function in lines of the dash in line 7? What did you write? A pause? Where's that? 5, 6, 7. Think about that. The dash in line 7. This is a long-term trend. We've been tracking it for 2 years now, but it has only just been picked up. It's not a pause. I think it's giving more information. Look here, this sentence could have read, this was a long-term trend. Do you see what they did here? They actually gave you a hyphenated word here to confuse you. And then they gave you the dash there. You see that? Now, they're saying, this is a long-term trend. They could have finished the sentence here. Then they gave you a dash. And then they gave you to add more information. But it has only just been picked up now. They're just adding more information. Let's see if what the memo says. I'm going to do this so that you don't see it before I see it. Word count will now 3, 4. Oh, here's your answer. The dash indicates that a development or an explanation follows. If you read that sentence, you will see they give you more information. An explanation follows. The development they are referring to is more information follows. In this instance, for a dash, more information follows, a development follows, or an explanation follows. And you can see this memo says, accept valid alternative responses. In other words, for the person who's marking, there may be other responses, but it's valid. Like if I had written more information follows, they would definitely have marked it right. Do you need me to take this thing away? So you must know that for a dash, when they ask you about a dash, that could be an answer. I would go for more information follows in the sentence. Hyphenated means they're forming new words. Kelly plus Ann, Kelly Ann. That means we're forming a new proper noun. When we say, maybe that question is in there, I'm going to see if there is, and then we can discuss that. Let's look at the next one. Oh, let me talk about, we discussed this yesterday in short, when we said, give an antonym for Afro-optimism 5.1. Now, an antonym is an opposite. You are not going to find an opposite for, they give you this, almost say the stupid word, Afro-optimism. It's to confuse you. All you need to know, what is the opposite of optimism? As jy nie optimisties is jy dan is jy pessimisties, né? Optimisties is positief. Pessimisties is die negatief. It's optimism and pessimism. So this answer would be Afro-pessimism. And it's spelled P-E-S-S-I-S-M. Pessimism. Then they're gonna play around with your head like that. And it's not like you don't know this work. To which noun does the pronoun it refer in the clause, but it has only just been picked up? To which noun in line 7 to 8? So you go to line 7 to 8, don't let all of that confuse. That's the first thing I will do. And I'm going to try and even if I don't know, I'm going to try and understand what the sentence is saying in order for me to understand it. To which noun? So they're asking you, I would do this. If this is me in the exam, I would do this. I would say, so my note to myself on my paper, they're looking for a noun. Which noun? In line 7 to 8. Does the word it belong? That's what they are asking or refer to. They give you a lot of words in a sentence. This is what they're asking. Go look for a noun in line 7 to 8 and to which noun does the word it refer to. What did you write? Well, let's first go look at the noun. Let's go first look at line 7 to 8. She tracks the latest changes in lifestyles, politics, and technology as many of these elements affect fashion, cultures, and subcultures. Line 6. This is a long-term, no, we're going to line 7. This is a long-term trend. We've been tracking it for 2 years now, but it has only just been picking up. To which noun? So we're going to have to look at the noun. What is a noun? Huh? I think I know go look for now in line 7 to 8 and then figure out what if we talk about it, like let's say there is my dog's bone. It has been lying there. So which word does it refer to? Yeah, there is my dog is a noun, bone. Then we say it's been lying there for 3 days. Which one of the two does it refer to? To bone, the bones be. So they're saying here, look at that like that. What are you saying? Trend. Long term is not a noun then. Trend is the noun. Because long term isn't a thing. Trend is a thing. Got it? You understand? Okay, let's quickly see what the answer says. If we are right. Trend. Correct. Okay, great. So that's how you answer questions. Don't get involved in all the other mess. They're asking you for noun. Go look for noun. 2, they say it. Okay, in line 7 to 8, go to line 7 to 8. Anders gaan die papier jou mal maak. That's it. Let's go to the next question. What's the function we did that? Is it to which provide the adverbial form of ornaments. What did you say? What did we say? What do we do with how do we, do you know, did we, were you when we did this adverbial form of okay. And how do you form the same? I discussed it with them, to those of them who were in class. If you are Jessica in grade 1, you possibly look like this. Then you became Jessica somewhere, a sweet curly, with a nice dressy. Got it. Then you became Jessica all thingy-majiggy. And then Jessica fell pregnant. But this is still Jessica. The form has changed, but the substance stays the same. So they're asking for an adverbial form. So they're saying, put this word, make this word an adverb. You know that word. Adverb is, it adds to the verb. In other words, it describes the verb. So when we say he walked fast. So fast is describing the verb. Can you see that? Okay, fine. How do we form adverbial forms? What was the rule? Add ly. Okay. So he walked fastly. They will accept that. Hurriedly. No? Okay, let's go back to this question. So right there for adverbial form, in your list at the back, adverbial form, add ly. For adjectival form, you add any suffix or prefix that makes sense. Here's the word adverbial form, add ly. So if we use the word sad, we'll say sadly, for instance. Then there's the other form, adjectival form. You're going to say, I was saddened by him. Can you see that? Ed. So in other words, you make it an adjective this time. Okay, great. Let's quickly go back to the question at hand. Provide the adverbial form of the word ornaments. Ornamentally, is that what you said? Let's see what this memo says. Look how easy the paper becomes if you know the rules. Okay. Next question. That's not where I want to be. I want to be here. Correct the malapropism in paragraph 3. Use the word write the word, you may get this, malapropism. What is that? We've discussed it yesterday. Did you write malapropism in your list? When I say write it, you go to your list, and it means you're going to know you have to know these words in order to get through your paper. We discussed it yesterday. Were you here in the station when we did this? So, Jessica, here's the deal. You know this word actually. What part of this word do you know? Appropism. In other words, it means something that is appropriate. Okay? No? But when you say malappropriate, what does it mean? When we say you malfunction, you're not functioning correctly. When we say malnutrition, you're not taking the right nutritional food. So something is wrong. In other words, they are saying, for the first additional guys, they'll say, identify the incorrect use of the word. Home language will get malapropism, and it's crazy. So this word was incorrectly used. Just right there. Make a note. It was inappropriately used. In paragraph 3, let's go there, 5.6. Let's go to paragraph 3. Then they say corrected. Okay, here we go. So they're saying, from a lifestyle perspective, the continent was setting trends abroad. Overseas companies, musicians, and fashion designers are finding opportunities in Africa from a financial and a creative point of view. Which word was incorrectly used? You have perspective. Why? Looks wrong. That you get that feeling. That normally indicates something doesn't sit well. But then they say corrected. That's when the thing hits the fan. What do you have? Perspective. I have a different perspective, a different view. Can you see that? Then you write the proper word. From a lifestyle perspective. My perspective. It's what you see. No? Did you have that? So, you know the word perspective? Sorry?
Own understanding.
Own? I'm not. Oh, no. Perspective means from your perspective, a perspective is your view. I have a different perspective. It's not your it could be your understanding, but yeah. No? No, it's not even an opinion. It's just your view. From perspective means your view. Your view has changed. You have a different view now. Perspective is view. So what they used was prospective. Prospect means I have an option. Give me your prospects for the future. It's prospect. Okay. Okay, great. So you can get that feeling already. It isn't right, but let me use the proper word. Let's quickly have a look at what the memo says. I think it is right. Perspective. Great. Now, are you English first edition? No? Oh, you would have aced this paper. Now let's. Okay, let's talk about the next question. Since we recognized and embraced what we have always had, other countries are also embracing us. So they are saying, correct the error of the tense error in a sentence. The tense error. What's tense? You can write down tense in your list. What's tense? Past tense. Now remember, we did the following. We did past tense, we did present tense, we did future tense. Then we also did continuous tense. Hold up. Past continuous, was being, was kicking. Present continuous tense, is kicking. Future continuous tense, will be kicking. Look at the tense and then you correct it. They're saying there is a problem. You can't tell them I didn't see the problem. There was a problem. Let's quickly have a look. Since we recognized and embraced what we have always had, other countries are also embracing us.
Always yes, yes,
Tense has to do with verb. Is kicking, was kicking, will be kicking. Kicked, kicks. You look for verbs. And then what are they saying? They're saying the following. What's the problem? They're saying if you've used verb 1, let's say there's verb 2 and verb 3. If this one is in the past tense, this one you must fix as do this in the past. You use verb 3 in the past. Or if this one is in the present, then use everyone in the present tense. That's what that's in correct the error of tense. So somewhere between those three verbs, one must be in a different tense. Let's go back to the sentence. Other countries are also embracing us. Is since we recognized and embraced what we have always had, other countries are also embracing us. I don't think that's a problem there because it says since we have done this, they are now in the present with us. They are embracing with us. Other countries have also embraced us. We could do that. I'm just trying to figure out what is other countries were. No, I don't think it's were also embraced. Nah, I don't think it's that one. I think I think this might be the problem. Since we recognize, do we say since we recognize, or do we say? Help. You are changing words. You need to correct the verb. You can't change words. Since we recognized and embraced what we have always had, what do we say? Since we recognize, do we talk like that? What? Think about it. Do you say since we recognized? What do we say? Since you can't change the word, you're just working with a verb. You're changing the completely. Recognize and realize are two different things. You're changing the meaning. Don't change words. Work with the verbs. That's not a verb. All is not a verb. We work with verbs. I recognize you. Do you say that? You've done something. I say I recognize you. Well, how would we say that? Recognize. Your colleagues over here recognize. Don't do that. Okay. Since we recognized, since we're recognizing, but then this is not in the continuous tense. I think it's since we have recognized and embraced what we have. Oh, can you see the verb? Since we recognized is past tense. And when we use the word have, it's perfect tense. This is the perfect tense we have. Remember when we did direct and indirect, then we used the present tense and we used the perfect tense. Remember when we said by the time when you hear when we did that, I would have slept for 3 hours. So we did the perfect tense. Hold up, let's try this. I'm going to see if I'm correct. I'm not too sure if I'm correct. But I think the have makes a difference there. Since we have recognized. Because you see, you have You have here. We have here. We must have here. If we had here, we'd have to put in had here. We don't, if I hear you say, no, since we recognize, it should be, your correct English is, since we have recognized you and the work you have done. We are doing well today. Let's do 5.8. That's the word you want to write down in your list, redundancy. When is something redundant? For my home language mensa, when is something redundant? I think you said it yesterday, no? Anyone else? Redundant. Redone. Say redone. Yeah, it's redone. It's done. When something is redundant, you have no use for it. When something is redundant, you have no use for it. Other words, your clothes, that's redundant. I don't need this anymore for winter. It's redundant. Redone. Put it that way for you. So, in other words, it's been used before. Okay. Redundant means there are words in there that have already been used. It's too many words of the same kind. When we say the big fat cat, big is already fat. You remove either one. Then you're going to say the big fat or you're going to say the big cat or the fat cat. There's too many, it's onnodige woorde. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Die lang, hoe kan jy sê, groot man, lobber. Can you see that? You've used too many words of the same kind in there. Daar sê, sien jy? So jy kan sê een van die twee. Dat in Afrikaans noem hulle dit oortollige gebruik van woorde. Was oortollig, né? That's redundant, not needed. Now, let's look at this. We have started 5.8, a dynamic. Listen, guys, I can stay here today and teach like this the whole day and help you get through this thing. We have started a dynamic and new innovative movement that is gaining international interest. That's line 15 to 7. What do you have? We have started a dynamic and new innovative movement that is gaining international interest. Which word is redundant or which word is used in excess? In other words, which word means the same as the other? Hold up. Give them just 60 seconds to think. Go, Jessica. Dynamic and innovative. Do they have the same meaning? Is dynamic and innovative the same meaning? Do they have the same? That's how you ask. That's how you answer your question. Is dynamic and innovative, those two words, are they the same, of the same kind? Dynamisch en innoverend. Innovative and innovative a movement. She just said, dynamic, is dynamic the same as movement? Gaining and movement, I'm gaining something but I'm not moving. It's not the same word. New and innovative is what is innovative? When you innovate something, it's new. Can you see? You're looking for big words. You guys all jump to the big words because you think it's that deep. It's right in front of you. New, when you innovate, it's new. This is what this paper will do to you. You're going to jump at the big stuff first, and it's right in front of you. You must, and this is the reason I've been saying to you since you got into this class, go and read grade 2, 3, 4 books. So, because you don't listen to words like this anymore. You don't read words like this. You don't read, you sit on your phone for hours. You could have taken a grade 2 and 3 book to get the meaning of words in your head. That's what you need. It's called proper construction of sentences. That's what you need. So let's look at this answer. See if we are correct. Either omit. New, omit means leave it out. New or innovative. So when you rewrite, either one of those words must go out. That's redundancy. Let's talk about, my favorite. Correct the concord of error. Error of concord. Write that in your list. Error of concord. I'm so sorry. Error of concord. Do you remember what error of concord is? What's that? Any idea? Error of concord. It has to do with the boy is or the boy are. Is and are. Ones and twos. Has and has. So one boy kicks, two boys kick. One child is, two children are. One boy kicks, but two boys kick, not ed, kick. Okay, so the children kick, but the child kicks. You got it? She has, that one person has, but they have. Got it? Okay, let's look at the sentence. Correct the error of concord in paragraph 4. Let's go to paragraph 4. Since we recognize and embrace what we have always had, other countries are also embracing, as Cooper said. We have started a dynamic and new innovative movement that is gaining international interest. This trend appeals to all countries. This appeal, which appeals to all countries, have certainly put all their eyes on South Africa. I saw it. It's almost very difficult to see. It plays around with you, messes you up. It's very small. It's like, so this is what you do. Let me help you. This is what you do. It's called, concord is called subject-verb agreement. Which one do you have? Appeal, what about it? You're not changing tense, you're changing verb. I think everybody just wants to change tense. When you say appeal, that means that happened yesterday. This thing is saying it's happening in the present. You keep it in the present. Let's talk about subject-verb agreement. In other words, a singular subject equals, or I want to say verb agreement. The two of them must agree. In other words, a singular subject equals a singular verb, and then a plural subject equals a plural verb. In other words, one boy, singular verb, is. You see that singular verb? Is. A plural verb is are. That means this must be boys. Plural verb. Can you see that? Equals are. What do you do? One boy has, for singular. Two boys have. Can you see that? Plural. Now, let's talk about this. What you do in this instance is you're going to go, please follow this, it's just going to get confusing for you. As you can see in that whole text, it becomes confusing to look for. What you're going to do is the following. You go look for your subject. You don't care about anything else. You are looking for your subject. In other words, what's the subject? Definition of a subject? What's the subject in a sentence? The doer. You go look for who's doing it. Then what is it? It's a subject what? Verb agreement. You look for your subject, you look for your verb. Then you make sure they match. In other words, if they say one dog, then your verb must read one dog is, or one dog has, or one dog kicks or eats. Can you see that? If we say boy, we must say one boy is, or one boy has, or one boy kicks. Got it? It's got to read like that. So in your whole sentence, you go look for who's your doer, and then you go see what the verb is. Then you don't care about anything else. It's going to mess you around. Remember what you're looking for in Concord now. Let's go. Now, 4. Since we recognized in that first sentence, who's the doer? Got it. We. Then you go, we recognize that singular, embrace that singular. We have, we recognized and we have. Can you see? You can't say we as, we say we have. That's correct. That's what you don't even care what the sentence says. I'm looking for, here's my doer, we, here's my doer, we have. Great, we can move on. Done. Now work through it. We are, is that correct? Is we are correct? No, I'm asking you, we are. Do we say we is? We say? That's correct. That's not the error. You don't worry about any other word. Always ask yourself, how many of this are there? Is it one boy, is it two boys? Is it one door, is it two doors? Is it one room or is it two rooms? You know what you're looking for, no? Sorry guys, the guys just want to see on the board. I'm going to count from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, hand in your papers, thank you. That's exactly how it's going to be. It's exactly how it's going to be. Okay, who came up with what? Movement. How many movements are there? It's movement. How many movements are there? How many movements are there? One. One is. One movement is correct. The error is not there. We have always. What's always got nothing to do. We have always had. You can't say we have always have. Okay, let's move. Let's work through sentence number one. Here we go. So we have we have. We've discussed that. We've always had. That's correct. Other countries. One country. How many countries? How many countries do you see? Countries. How many countries? More than one. Countries? Great, that's correct. That's not the error. Got it? Bracing us. Cooper said, we have. Is that correct? The doer is we. The verb is? Is the verb correct? Do we say we has or we have? Stop looking for errors. First look for what is right. Then you'll know what's left. Done. Got it? Where are we now? We have started a dynamic and new movement. One movement is. Got it? Great. Gaining international interest. And you're thinking, my gosh, there's nothing in there. You've now seen what is right. It will point out now quickly. This trend. How many trends are there? One. This trend does what? Appeal or appeals? One trend appeal or one trend appeals? One boy kick or one boy kicks? That's how you always go back. One boy kick or one boy kicks? One boy kicks. Got it? One trend kick or one trend appeal or appeals? One trend? This is correct. Appeals. You're looking for an error. First look for what is right. That's right. Now, to all countries have certainly put all eyes on South Africa. Is there a problem there?
Yes.
What's the problem?
Yes.
Why? If you can give me the why, then I can give it a mark. That's got nothing to do with countries. Look at this. This trend. Look here. This trend. It's got nothing to do with tense. Get it out of your head. This trend. They've just put in information between the commas, which appeals to all countries. Actually, that sentence reads, this trend, this one trend, have certainly put all eyes on South Africa. Do you see that? This sentence actually reads, this trend have certainly put all eyes on South Africa. But they just put in a few words to confuse you. This trend which appeals to all countries. Now in this instance, this trend has or have. How many trends are there? Oh, okay. One boy has or one boy have? Has. So this trend has certainly. There's your error of concord.
So
Instead of have, one boy has. One trend?
yes.
Great. Do you see how you make the... I don't get the question. Oh, when you correct, you can say, I'll see what the memo does now, but you can say one trend, the trend has certainly, because that's what I'm telling you now. You're looking, don't look at the whole sentence, you look at where's my subject, who's doing it, and where's my verb. Do they correspond? Do they agree? And in this instance, you can clearly see one trend does not agree with have. If they said trends, we could have said these trends have certainly, then it would have been correct. So let's see what the memo does. But you can rewrite the whole sentence, it won't be wrong. That's what they did. This trend which appeals to all countries has. This is a lekker paper actually. If you know what you're looking for. But now you know. So let's see what the last question is and see if we can get through that. I have a cousin, well, my sister's boy is in grade 12, and every time I ask him, do you need help? He's just like, no, 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 I understand. He felt English. Are you mad? And people don't understand that English is like math, because this must match that. That's how it is. If you can just understand what goes where in what box, you're going to be okay. We don't always speak like that, but this is the rules of language, of this particular language. Let's go to 5.9, 5.10. Choose the correct answer from the options provided. Write down only the letter of your choice, not the right answer, according to you. So, Africa, which is often regarded as the cradle of Oscar winners and Grammy recipients, has risen above the tide against it. So, the above sentence is an example of 1, a clause, 2, a complex sentence, 3, or C, a simple sentence, and D, a compound sentence. So, we are talking about the types of sentences. Let's quickly do this. So, you must know in your list, you write down phrase, P-H-R-A-S-E. Below that you write down clause. We're dealing with types of sentences, right? Then simple sentence. You write down, I must know what is a complex sentence. And I must know what is a compound sentence. So, number 1, a phrase is a group of words without a verb. Phrase. Group of words without a verb. Let's go to the boy kicks the ball. When we say the boy, look at me, with the blue t-shirt. Is there a verb in there? Is there doing word in there? With the long t-shirt. No verb in there. Can you see that group phrase, a group of words without a verb, is a phrase. Then, let's talk about what is a clause. A clause is a group of words with a verb. So this is how I remember, I almost use the word clause, you're clawing up somewhere. So I say clause is a doing word. No? So a clause is a group of words with, it's not spelled the same, but I just use it as a memory connecting point, okay? Clause, group of words with a verb. So when you say the boy who loves apples, who eats apples every day, kicks the ball. Who eats, you hear that verb? Apples every day, group of words with a verb, kicks the ball. Got it? You understand that? Now let's talk about a simple sentence. A simple sentence has one verb. You want to say one finite verb. Because a finite verb will show you time. So was kicking is a finite verb. Was and kicking. Will be kicking is a finite verb. Will be kicking. Because remember, finite verb is all the verbs in the sentence. Was is helping kicking. That's a helping verb plus the primary verb. Will be kicking will show tense. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's a finite verb. Then let's use it as it has one verb in it. Then your compound sentence has two or more. Now you have to stay with me quickly before we get out of here. I know it's getting complex now. So a compound, let's do this for the guys over there. Sit to the back, okay. A compound sentence has two or more finite verbs, in other words, verbs in there. In other words, two or more clauses, because a clause has a verb in it. Do you have this in your notes? Maar jy kyk en jy bly so aan. Ek het al 2 keer gesê, ja vir my Here. Okay, a compound sentence has two or more clauses. In other words, more than one verb. What did we say a clause is? A group of words with a verb. Clause. Group of words with a verb. So there's two more clauses and they are joined by a conjunction. Joined by a conjunction. Joined with a conjunction. Joined with a conjunction. Here's an example. Kathy, let's use for a simple sentence. Let's use simple sentence. Example, Kathy hates maths. Write that down. We wrote simple sentence. Kathy hates maths. That's example. Let's use compound sentence. This is not complex, eh? This is compound. I'm sorry, I should have done it the other way. Compound. Kathy hates maths, but loves running. But she loves running. Kathy hates maths, but she loves running. Let's fix that quickly. Kathy hates maths. Can you hear the word hates? That's your verb number 1. She loves running is sentence number 2 or clause number 2. It has a verb in there. She loves running. So you can see that's compound. We've compounded the two together. No? So it's how we deal with a bank when it's a compound interest. I have this interest of last month and I'm taking that whole amount and I'm adding to it. Compound, I'm compounding it so that you can get interest on both. And it's joined by a conjunction. The conjunction is the joining word, which is the word but in this instance. And is also conjoining a conjunction. But in this instance, they've used but. Okay, now let's talk about complex sentence. Just stay with me for a minute. Complex. A complex sentence. You can maybe write complex again at the bottom. So that we're going to expand on it now, but after you've already written compound, just write complex again. A complex sentence has a main clause. You say main clause. Plus. Make the sign a plus sign. 1 or 2 subordinate. Listen, I want you to come back when we see each other again, and then I want you to say, explain this to me again. No? If you get lost, because it's all new concepts I'm throwing at you. Plus 1 or 2 sub. We're going to do this. Plus 1 or 2 subordinate. Sorry man, there's something wrong here. Could be a plus 1 or 2 subordinate clauses. And they are joined by a plus. Then you say joined with a conjunction. Joined with a conjunction. Subordinate clauses. Remember, a clause is a group of words with a verb. 1 or 2 subordinate clauses. I want to tell you what the difference is between a main clause and a subordinate clause. First, write down main clause. The main idea equals the main idea of the sentence. The main idea in the sentence. Now, here's your example. The main idea makes sense on its own. Write that down. Main idea makes sense on its own. On its own. It needs nothing else. For instance, Sean drinks coffee. Does it need anything, any explanation? Not at all. The boy eats apples. Main idea can stand on its own. It doesn't need anything else to explain it. Now let me give you this one. Daniel got good marks. Full stop. Do you hear me, Bona? Write it down as your example for your main idea. Daniel got good marks. Full stop. Now you write down subordinate clauses, because I just said it has a main clause plus a subordinate clause. We are discussing what the subordinate clause looks like. Subordinate clause is your next topic of discussion. Subordinate clause also has a verb, a finite verb. That's your note. Also has a finite verb. But can't stand on its own. In other words, it needs the main clause to make sense. It needs the main clause to make sense. Also called the dependent clause. In other words, it's dependent on something to make sense. Okay, here we go. Let's fix that quickly. Have you ever been in a discussion with someone and you say, what are you talking about? Let's talk about, let's say someone said, it says, die mense was so funny. The people were so funny. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? What people? Sorry man, something is missing. I don't get it. No? She could say, when I got to the circus, the people in the circus were so funny. Or you could say, I laughed myself silly because the people were so funny. Can you see? Now it makes sense. Let's discuss this. Now we're gonna write Daniel got good marks, comma. Hi Stanton. We're finishing up. Daniel got good marks, comma, because, see there's your conjunction, he studied hard. Now can you see, because he studied hard cannot stand on its own. That's the subordinate clause. The main clause is Daniel got good marks. Got it? So you can't just say, because he studied hard, you're thinking, something's missing. You got to give me the main clause in order for me to fully understand it. So when you go to this question now, again, question 5.10, go back to it and recognize, based on the information I gave you, you answer the question. Is it a phrase? Is it a clause? Is it a simple sentence? Is it a compound sentence or is it a complex sentence? That in a nutshell is it. Thank you so much. Now you can go to any question paper and answer all the questions on simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. All of the information I gave you, you can answer in every question paper now. Great, thank you. Yes, I was, but the people left. I think your guys are online now.
What type of sentence?
You have to go and figure it out, my dear. I gave you the information to use. Go away. Thank you. Have a good day.